Welcome back to Cafe Rouge. Time to go home. I had a nightmare last night. A very scary one. I couldn't remember what it was about, but it left my chest with a heavy ache. School ended. She is so happy. I know where I needed to go, but I really didn't want to. Was it fear? Was it my cowardice? Well, I couldn't run forever. Is this the right one? None of it made sense. Oh, okay, yeah. Adeline and Errol were just two everyday employees, with the exception of being vampires working at the cafe. They had no enemies at the cafe, so why would the murderer kill those two? Unless... Then it dawned on me. What if the murderer didn't mean to kill those two? What if the stalker following me the night before was related to this? What if the murderer was actually trying to kill me instead? I needed to investigate. Aldo. I should talk with Aldo last. He might give me something to do that'll take up the majority of my time in the kitchen. Really? Oh my god, okay, Damien. I walked up to the stage, hesitant. Damien's back was facing me, and there was a strange stain on his vest. Wait, was that blood? Noticing my presence, he turned around. Hello. I only have one question. Where were you during yesterday's kitchen accident? He stared at me, appalled. You think I did it? Who else would? You obviously don't like me. True, I don't like you. But why in the world would you... He stopped. Then he suddenly started laughing. Oh, so you think I was trying to kill you? Do you know how self-centered you sound right now? Just answer my question. If anyone, you should be asking Aldo that question. Aldo wasn't in the kitchen, his kitchen, when it happened. Damien shot me a glare before he turned tailed and left. I haven't talked to everyone yet. Ooh, Cadence. I opened the cafe door. The little blonde was outside wiping the table. The little blonde? Yeah, but she's taller than you. Of course, it will be very awkward, but I just had to ask. Meekly, I stepped toward her. Is there something you need? I was just wondering, on yesterday's accident, did you notice anything strange? And where was she the whole time? No, not particularly. Well, everybody was doing the usual. I was at the lobby counting the cash. They probably didn't see me when I ducked down behind the glass, but after Aldo left the kitchen and out he went. He didn't come back for a few hours, and then Errol went to the kitchen a second time, probably to talk to the boss. And then Aldo came back in, and he was holding some sort of bundle, like a small blanket bundle. But what about Damien? She pricked up her brows at my question. Damien is innocent. I'm almost positive that he's not involved in any of this. I didn't see him all day, but I didn't see Diane or Chris either. But how can you be... Sure, well, I'm not. I just know. Cadence turned her back to me, not saying any more. She really just wants it to be Damien. What the hell's your problem, girl? I'm sorry, but really? I get he doesn't like you, but I don't think he's gonna straight up murder you either. I should go ask some other people. I haven't talked to everyone yet. Diane. Hi, Diane. Hello, dear. Her face was grim and gloomy. She's probably still mourning. Obviously, everyone is, and you're coming in here asking them a bunch of questions just because you think they wanted to kill you. Which most likely they did, but still, maybe they wanted to kill you because of how nosy you are. Diane, where were you where were the other people during the accident? You were with me, but do you have any ideas? I'm not sure. Aldo acted strangely. He walked into the kitchen, and yet yesterday he was gone. Errol was at Antoine's office, and since the kitchen's connected to the cafe, well... It's just so terrible. Those two were barely a century old. They had so much ahead of them, those young vampires. Yeah. Okay. Let's look for other people. I haven't talked to everyone yet. Chris. Because they won't let me talk to Aldo. This motherfucker's the one who did it. You know it. I entered the empty room. Nobody was here and I was all alone. Nothing seemed out of the ordinary except for the smell of something very greasy. MeliZ. Hey, sorry, was at the restroom. He walked over behind the bar. What can I help you? What can I do to help you? I was actually wondering, do you know anything about yesterday's accident? Chris paused in the middle of the wiping glass, perking up his brow. He's so fucking guilty. Suddenly he started laughing. Playing detective now, are we? Well, I'm just trying to help. Bitch, he wanted to kill you. He don't like you. He's faking it the whole time. Well, I'll tell you what I know. The last person Errol was seen was Damien. They seemed to have a fight over some sprouting bet on a football game. If you ask me, this isn't the first time Damien got upset over his gambling antics. You fucker. Damien's not a bad person and I fucking fuck you. As for Adeline, well, I'm not too sure on what happened with her. Aldo must have had another oven malfunction. Her death might have been the real accident. Huh. Alright then. Of course, Damien seems a little suspect. He never really liked me, so what if he tried to? I should go ask other people. The only other person we need to ask is Aldo. I haven't talked to everybody yet. I entered the kitchen. Aldo was there, was where he usually was. He was crying, and the bloody stain from yesterday gone, cleaned up spotless. Lorem, Miss MeliZ? Hello, Aldo. The silence was really awkward. Everybody thinks it's my fault that I'm Aldo a murderer? Looking at his face, I could see no trace of ill intent of any kind. You didn't kill anybody, Aldo. You don't know that. I love Aldo, but you don't know that. Like, you're not a fucking detective. You're like, I forgot how old she is, but she's still in high school. What? I don't see what you could have gained. You're just an honest chef, passionate about his passion cuisine. Returning to his old self, Aldo grinned, ruffling my hair. He patted my shoulder, like a heavy burden was lifted from him. Still, I couldn't help but feel he was hiding something. You think everyone's hiding something. I think they're just hiding the fact that they're vampires and I don't know, that's it. Let's just forget about it. We must make cuisines today. Cannoli for tonight. I love cannolis. Cannoli? Yes, now quick, before cream goes bad. We must bake. The cannoli looked delicious. Oh, how I wanted to eat one myself right now. No, must resist. My, what a dandy looking dessert. I whipped my head around. Oh, hi Antoine. Hello again, Miss Black. He walked around me, observing. Unexpectedly, I saw him reach out his hand towards a piece. Quickly, I swatted the hand away. What are you doing? That isn't for you. It's for the customers. Antoine stared down at me, surprise clear on his face. A moment later, he smiled. You cheeky little girl. You have the audacity to tell me whether I can't eat in my own restaurant? Just because you're my boss, doesn't mean you have any right to free food. You must earn it like we all do. Antoine laughed, his chuckle reaching my ears. It was hard to suppress my own grin, hearing him like this. Our eyes locked into place. Neither of us could turn away as we both looked at each other. His red eyes pierced mine, and what struck me off was how he looked at me like he was as hypnotized as I was. Was there an inkling of emotion he felt the same exact way as I did? Suddenly, he broke off the trance, looking the other direction. Would you mind coming to my office? There's something I'd like to speak with you about. He smiled down gently. Is it about yesterday? Yes. Our eyes met. Yes, we were thinking the same. That last night's accident was connected to the pursuers prior to 2 nights ago. Shall we? Antoine led me inside, closing the office door. It was very peaceful, despite the chilly atmosphere downstairs. I felt safe. Antoine led me to the brown sofa. Please sit. I'm clicking. I followed his lead, plopping myself down. Antoine leaned against his office desk or table. I don't know. It could be both. Miss Black, I think it's safe to say now that the murderer from yesterday was hoping to catch you in the kitchen. By any means now, I want you to stay with at least 2 people during your shift. So if they try to kill you, they'll kill the other 2 as well. And then I'll hire a whole new staff and we'll forget about this whole thing. Never be alone with anybody or alone by yourself. Never be alone with... Suddenly it all clicked. You know who did it, don't you? My words caught him off guard. Yes. Who is it? Tell the police. The vampire authorities won't do anything. They're corrupted as it is. Then why don't you tell me who... I can't. Antoine jolted from his place, wandering to his office window. The blond man furrowed his brows. His face etched in frustration and torment of some kind. Was he all right? Antoine? His head whipped back to me. I won't let anyone jeopardize your safety. You have my words, Miss Black. I sighed. No, he wouldn't tell me. And then I suddenly remembered. My pendant. I have to ask if he's seen it. Ask now. Fuck it. You know, you're right here. I might as well ask now. I actually wanted to ask you. Have you seen... The door bursted open. You wouldn't believe what I just found. Damon stopped in the middle of the doorway. Bewildered, he looked back and forth between Antoine and myself. In his hand, his finger clutched a black choker and a plate of thin-shaped gold. My gold harp. My pendant! His eyes started to me, surprise clear on his face. Damien, so you found Miss Black's pendant. Would you be kind as to give it back? Damien stared confounded. Our eyes stared upon him, waiting. Seconds passed before he finally regained composure, walking up to me, dropping my harp trinket into my hand. Would you please wait downstairs, Damien? Narrowing his eyes, he left. The door shut quietly behind him. Well, does that answer your question? He chuckled, but his cheerful aura didn't reach me. Something wasn't right. Have you seen this before? My harp. Antoine froze, his demeanor assuming a more serious note. He eyed me carefully, his face blank with expression. No. That's a lie, isn't it? Antoine said nothing more. I eyed his face, waiting for an inkling of emotion to give him away. He revealed nothing. Now, let's put it back where it belongs. Bending down towards me, he lifted up my hair. His hand took the gold pendant to the tiny metal hoop dangling in the middle of my choker. The harp-shaped plate of gold hung from my neck. His red eyes pierced me. I couldn't look away. MeliZ. Aww. He leaned closer. I could feel his breath on my face, and I'm gonna fucking save this because you guys know already. You guys know what I do. I gotta save the page now. Thank you very much. He leaned closer. I could feel his breath on my face. Our lips were inches apart, and he continued to stare at me so intensely I could faint from sheer anticipation. He was so close. But then reality came back and I realized that it was a vampire who was in front of me. I shut my eyes tight, fearful. Really? Oh my... I'm gonna throw my chair. I swear to God, I'm gonna throw my chair. To my dismay, his face wandered down. His nose trailed down to the nape of my exposed neck, breathing right into the hollow of my ears. I shivered at the intimacy. Antoine? I gasped, feeling the tip of his tongue on my skin. How tantalizing. The murmur of his voice lulled me into a trance, drowning out my panic. I won't bite too hard. Obliging, I let him Really? I let him unbutton my collar. Damn, son! Oh my God, forget this other screenshot I have. No. We're going for this one. Yes, holy shit, he's going right in. She's just like, fuck it, yeah, I know. He ripped open my little black bow tie, desperately seeking more skin. I granted him permission, surrendering my flesh. MeliZ. Yeah, what's up, man? Two sharp fangs pricked my skin. I gasped at the pain, but soon it was replaced by something else. Sweet, sweet ecstasy seeped into the jugular of my veins, making me swoon in his arms. Antoine continued to drink from me, ravenously. Let's see. Ooh, dude, come on. Calling another girl's name? Who? Breaking from a trance, I shoved him off me. I thought you were in a trance. How are you going to shove him off? Antoine stared at me bewildered, but I was the one in utter perplexity. Reality hit me. What the hell was I doing? Letting my paws suck the blood off my neck. How did I become so pathetic? Sweetheart, I don't want to break it to you, but this whole gameplay, you've been kind of already. You didn't just become it. You've been like this whole time. Just saying. It felt so humiliating. MeliZ. I dashed out of his office. The tears continued to leak down my face, making my vision blurry. Carelessly, I ran into someone, knocking him to the ground with me. Ugh. Getting up and out of his way, I ran out of the kitchen door. I wanted to go home. I wanted to be alone. I sat on my bed, reminiscing. I had so many questions in my head unanswered. It left me frustrated and miserable. MeliZ? There was a knock on my door. It was my dad. Yeah? Come to the living room. We'd like to speak with you. Mom and Dad sat on the living room couch, their faces stoic and cold. You will no longer be living here. What? What do you mean? We don't know what changed ever since our daughter's accident, but we know you are not who you say you are. We're sending you back to that woman. What were they talking about? I didn't understand. It's not worth the money anymore, and my wife and I want our lives back. And our real daughter back. What are you talking about? You know you're not her. Our daughter is normal. You're not. That's why we're sending you back. You're not us. And frankly, we've had enough playing your parents now. Mom, Dad, you can't be serious. Are you? What are you talking about? What do you mean I'm not like you? What am I? Mom and Dad exchanged glasses. Sighing, Dad responded. We don't know. Silence filled the gravity of the room, of the situation. Were they really doing this to me? I couldn't understand. And you couldn't find it in your heart to love me as your own child, and despite being different? The guilt was pointed clearly on their faces, but it was overshadowed by something. By fear. They weren't sorry for me. They were sorry for themselves. In a few days, you'll be moving out. That woman will take you back into her care. What woman? You'll know soon enough. I looked down, trying to make it all and take it all in, but failing. May I be excused to go to my room? Yes, we're finished saying what we have to say. Start packing soon. It's not really your mom and dad, man. I locked the door behind me. Alone, I ran to my bed. I cried silent tears. Please let this be a nightmare. But no matter how much I wished, I couldn't wake up from this horrible reality. As fatigue finally took me over, I cried myself to sleep. And that's where we're going to save it, because we don't know what's going to happen in the next one. Anyways, you guys, thank you so much for joining me. You don't see it! And I'll see you in my next video, in my next live stream. I can't live stream. I can't talk. Until next time, bye. Janet. Please wear a mask and wash your hands. Please, take care of yourselves.